Hello there, my name's KFM and welcome back to some more Dark Souls 3. In our last episode, we defeated the tutorial boss here in this little area. And for beating the tutorial boss, we received an item called the Coiled Sword. And when we read the item description, we were told that we would have to thrust the Coiled Sword into the bonfire at the Firelink Shrine, which lies somewhere beyond this door. Before we go on, there is just one thing I should tell you. In the first episode, I think I told you that I had been through the tutorial area 3 or 4 times in order to try out some different classes, but I hadn't yet been beyond this door, and that the rest of the Let's Play would be blind. And when I said that, those were my intentions, but let me tell you what happened. I actually played through parts 2 and 3. I had part 2 uploaded and I had part 3 mostly edited, and I just realized that they were crap. The commentary was crap. The gameplay was absolutely horrible. And the sound quality also was pretty horrible. Now, the sound quality in part 1 is still pretty bad, but I decided to keep it up as motivation to do better. But the point of me saying this is I had intended for this Let's Play to be completely blind past this point, but it's not going to be blind until maybe another hour or another hour and a half or so. So, just so you know going forward. But let's head to the shrine and get through some dialogues. Alright, so I'll give you a quick look around. We've got some sort of item over here. A useless broken straight-sword. Gorgeous. We have to head up. I think the shrine is straight up this path. But before we head to the shrine, let's take a little bit of a peek around. There are some enemies we have to take care of. Okay, there's a couple down here. We should pick up a couple of items. Still don't have those buttons down. Let's take them one at a time. I'm in no hurry. And I'm a little out of practice, as I haven't played for a couple of days. Not that I'm ever really in practice, since I'm not very good, but I'm really out of practice. So let's have a bit of a warm-up for the first 10 or 15 minutes. Let's see if we can get the jump and the kick down. No, it's not going to work this time. And yes, he's going off the cliff. Alright, let's pick up... I think this is a homeward bone. Yes, it is. So let's go through... Let's quickly read and find out what a homeward bone is. Bone fragment reduced to white ash. Return to last bonfire used for resting, or to the shrine bonfire. Bonfires are sustained by bones of the undead. In rare cases, their previous owners' strong urge to seek bonfires enchants their bones with a homeward instinct. So with this item, if we activate it, it means that we can return to the last bonfire rested at without losing all of our souls, which is the usual penalty for returning to the bonfire upon death. The more of those bones we can find, the better. You'll also notice that if you look at our character here, although his name's, I've called him KFM, I really kind of think of him as Harry the Herald. So from now on I'm going to refer to him as Harry. You can see Harry's cape and clothing, he's burning, which means he's, I'm not sure what the name of the status would be, but it means he has increased health. And it means that while we're in this state, we can summon other players for help, but I think we can be invaded. Although I think when we read the item description for Ember, I think we can confirm that. Let's see if we can kick this guy off the cliff. I really haven't been able to get the kick. Fly. Okay. Good, so let's take care of these two. And get out. So you'll see my spear is quite handy. I can fight behind the shield and still fight with my spear. You know what I think I should do? I think I should flank this crossbowman. Take him from the rear. Yeah, I think that works better. See if we can get a kick on this guy. Nope. Alright, before we head into the shrine, there are a couple of items to the right that we should pick up. There's going to be a dog jumping out here. Yes, okay. So if we're lucky, we can get him to jump off the cliff like he did last time for me. Or it looks like he's... oh, yeah, he's... something's going on. He's stuck behind. We can just... oh, he's stuck in the rock. What is going on with you, Poochie? Okay, something very strange is going on with you. I'm gonna see if I can... is there an item up here I want to pick up? Yes, there is. Okay. There he is. He's loose. That was a little weird. Okay, let's read the item description for... there he goes. Let's read the item description for Ember, because I think it will explain this whole state of... well, I'm not sure. Kindled or unkindled. Let's take a look and read it. Ember. Gains strength of flame, boosting HP until death. No unkindled can ever truly claim the embers that burn within a champion's bosom, which is precisely what makes their yearning for warmth so keen. Gain the strength of flame and increased max HP until death. With the strength of fire, the summoning signs of unkindled become visible, and seekers of embers can be summoned to join in cooperation. But beware, the embers may also attract invaders. Okay, so let's get the terminology down. I guess we can call this the strength of fire. So, if we kill a boss, I think that's why we have the strength of fire at the moment. We killed the boss, so we have the strength of fire, and then after something kills us, we will lose the strength of fire. We'll just be regularly unkindled, I guess. But we can get the strength of fire again by using an ember. So, embers are quite important. Can't remember if there's anything else around here, but I think that's it. Let's head into the shrine, and let's go through some of the dialogues and push the story forward. There's some important information in the shrine, and some very important people to meet. There is also actually a character up at the top of this stairwell, and you can see from the bloodstains that he's not friendly. I think it would be wise for us to go into the shrine and level up before we try to kill him. So let's head into the shrine and go through some dialogues. Here we are, Firelink Shrine. This is going to be, well, our home area, kind of like our home base. Before we speak to the lady, let's speak to this knight.
Ah, another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. And they'd have us seek the Lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we're talking true legends with the metal to link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots.
Oh, great, we've learned collapse.
Don't you think?
Well, I'm not sure. Alright, so he's said something about having to put the Lords of Cinder back on their thrones. I don't think there was any mention of that in the first episode. I think in the intro, the woman who was speaking told us that the Lords of Cinder had risen from their graves, but this is the first we're hearing of thrones. So it sounds like we have to put the Lords of Cinder back on their thrones. Let's just see if he has anything else to tell us.
What a sick joke. asking us to seek the Lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. We're talking true legends, those who would link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots. What a sick joke.
Okay, it looks like he doesn't have much to say. Let's speak to this woman.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I'm a firekeeper. I tend to the flame, and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones, and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side.
Okay, I think this is the woman from the intro. I think that was the woman with the mask. Let's see if she has anything else to say.
Ashen one, to be unkindled is to be a vessel for souls. Sovereignless souls will become thy strength. I will show thee how. Ashen one, bring me souls plucked from their vessels.
All right, souls it is. We can do that. Let's level up. Yeah, let's level up while we're here. Before we do that, actually.
Ashen one, may the flames guide thee.
Okay, before we do that, let's embed the coiled sword. That's what we have to do. Great, and let's rest at this bonfire before I forget. Right, you'll notice here we're at the Firelink Shrine, and we have some more options that we didn't have at the two bonfires before. We can travel to the High Wall of Lothric. Or we can attune some magic. We have a storage box we can organize. We can burn an undead bone shard. I don't know what that does yet. Or we can leave. So let's leave, and before we level up, there is one thing I want to do, although I really do like our spear. I like the fact that we can fight from behind this. I better get away from the firekeeper while I show you this. Although I can fight from behind the spear and remain protected while I thrust, the spear is a really good weapon for when you're fighting somebody one-on-one. But if you are fighting groups of 2 or 3 or 4 enemies, then it's really not fantastic, because there's just a single narrow hitbox there, and if you're swamped with enemies, the spear can be problematic. So what I would really like to do is go to visit another one of the NPCs in this area. Let's visit this woman.
A pleasure to make thine acquaintance, Ashen One. I am but a humble handmaid of the shrine. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells. I've lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler. And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away.
No, of course not.
Ashen One, fetch souls and bring them as is thy wont. No?
Let's see if she has anything else to say.
Ashen One, if my wares are not to thy satisfaction, bring me umbral ash. With ash, I'll fashion new wares. Is it not our sorry fate to sup on death?
So she said that if we bring her umbral ash, then she will have new wares new goods that we can buy.
Knowest thou of that soppy gossip? That cordial intrusion layeth the path to embers. And so thou art in need of a soapstone, Ashen One. Then thy pockets will overflow with souls to trade to me.
Okay, cordial intrusion. She's talking about, I think, invading the worlds of other players, so we can gather more souls and then spend them here at her little shop. I don't think we have anything to sell. Well, we do have a broken straight sword, so let's sell that for 3 souls. And let's purchase what I came here to buy, and that is a short sword. Yes. And I think everything else can probably wait. Although, let's... Oh. Yeah, I'd better level up first, but I will just buy a few prism stones, because they can be useful.
Ashen One, be sure to bring more souls.
Yes, will do. Let's equip our short sword. And let's also actually, I want to get in the habit of using my talisman in my right hand. And I'll explain why later. Good, so before we go forward, let's have a quick look at the stats on the short sword and the spear. Was that the right one? No, this one. Okay, so the spear is giving us 104 plus 11. And it scales D with strength and C with dexterity. And the short sword is giving us 99 plus 112. So, I mean, the spear is giving us slightly more damage, but if we look at the critical attack power, the short sword has a score of 110. This is in the center of your screen. And the spear has a critical value of 100. But more importantly, if we look at the short sword's moveset, it swings from side to side, quite wide. When you come out of a sprint, it's a thrust, which can be useful. And then out of a run, it's a kind of a sweeping motion, which can catch 2 or 3 or 4 enemies if they're grouped together. And so if we're fighting one-on-one, then we can go with the spear and hide behind our shield. But if we're in an area where we're fighting 2 or 3 or 4 enemies, then we'll probably use the short sword. And the other thing is, I think we can... Let's just see how many thrusts we can get out of the weapon on one charge of stamina. I'll assume the shield is up, although it doesn't really matter for this test. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's nothing. And with the short sword, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's a little bit to get away with. So, although the short sword is dealing slightly less damage, we are able to get more swings in, and there's just a little bit of stamina left for us to escape in a serious situation. So I'm going to go with the sword for now. We have all these souls, so now we can go back to the Firekeeper.
Ashen One, produce the coiled sword at the bonfire.
I thought I did that.
The mark of ash will guide thee to the land of the lords. To Lothric, where the homes of the lords converge.
Okay, the mark of ash will guide us to the homes of the lords? To Lothric,
Farewell,
where...
Ashen One. May the flames guide thee.
Well, I didn't quite catch all of it, but we have to follow the mark of the ash and go to Lothric and find the homes of the lords. So that is our task. That's what we have to do. And...
Ashen One,
But first we have to level up.
produce the coiled sword at the bonfire.
Mm-hmm.
The mark of to Lothric.
Okay, let's level up.
Then touch the darkness within me. Take nourishment from these sovereignless souls.
Right, so here we are in the level up frame, and it occurs to me that we haven't gone through the attributes yet. So let's very quickly go through the attributes and see what they do. Alright, Vigor. Vigor governs HP, and it also governs resistance to frost. Attunement governs FP, our blue magic bar, I guess, our blue bar. It also determines the number of attunement slots. So if we want to cast more miracles, we need to raise our attunement attribute. Endurance. This governs stamina, the green bar. And this also governs resistance to lightning and bleeding. Very important. Vitality. This governs physical defense, though this is also affected by other attributes, but this, I think most importantly, this governs maximum equip load and poison resistance. So if we want to carry more, we will have to raise Vitality. Strength is required to wield powerful and heavy weapons. It also governs resistance to fire and improves attack strength. Dexterity. This is required to wield advanced weapons. It also improves attack strength, reduces spellcasting time, and reduces damage taken while falling. So even if we don't, I'm not sure if we're going to go heavy on strength or heavy on dexterity or a mixture of the two, I'm not sure yet. But even if we do decide to go heavy on strength, we need to put some souls into dexterity because of we want our spellcasting time to be reduced, and we do want to reduce some falling damage. I fall all over the place. You will soon see. Intelligence. This is required to cast sorceries and pyromancies, and it increases spell potency. Pyromancy is affected by both faith and intelligence. Magic defense is also calculated from this attribute, and faith, as we're somewhere between a knight and a cleric. To cast our miracles, we're going to need a fairly high faith score. This is required to cast miracles and pyromancies, increases spell potency. Dark defense is also calculated from this attribute, and dark, I guess, means dark magic, although I'm not positive. And luck. This governs item discovery, it ups bleeding and poison capabilities, and it also governs resistance to curses. So, if we look at these attributes, our endurance is very low, so our stamina needs work. We're going to put a point or two into endurance. Vigor is our general health. We always need to increase that because we're weak, we're a low-level character, and I'm crap at this game, so the more vigor the better. But of course, we also will need to raise our dexterity a little bit because there's a weapon that we're going to be going after pretty soon, and we need a higher dexterity. I think we need a dexterity of 14. We're going to go after a bow. The bow is really useful, and I'll explain why a bit later. So it looks like, I think, vigor, endurance, and dexterity, and we'll see what is left over.
Very well, then take note.
Okay, so 1 definitely into vigor, 1 definitely into endurance. In fact, you know what? 2 going into endurance. I don't know if we need to carry more just yet. Although, if we're going to grab a bow, then I guess, yes, we will. 2 into dexterity. What do we have? 1 more? Probably have 1 more. Let's go into... Okay, vitality we can do later. Let's go... I think our short sword and our spear scale more effectively with dexterity. So let's go dexterity. Yep, that looks good. And we'll have to raise our vitality soon so that we can carry more. Alright, let's go ahead and confirm that. Okay, we've done.
Farewell, Ashen One.
Farewell. And we have 600 souls, and already I am lost. There we go. And we're going to buy just a few more firebombs because they are just so useful. Well, you can sell me some firebombs. That will do.
Ashen One, be sure to bring more souls.
Will do. And let's talk to Andre. Now, as I told you, I played a little bit of Dark Souls 1, but not too much. But I remember Andre from Dark Souls 1.
Well, a newcomer, I see. I am Andre. I serve at this shrine as a humble smith, forging weapons. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust.
I am.
A toilsome journey, I'd wager. You'll require good arms. Let me smith you weapons. I am a smith. Such is my purpose.
Right, here at the Blacksmith Andre, we can reinforce weapons, which means using Titanite shards, I think. Yes, we need Titanite shards and some souls in order to improve our attack power. We can infuse weapons with gems. We can repair equipment when it breaks. Here's an important thing. We can allot Estus flasks. Now right now we're on 3 regular Estus flasks and 1 blue one. And I think I'm going to keep it on 3-to-1 because we do have our minor heal spell. And I do like kind of experiment with the weapon skills, which consumes the blue flask. So let's keep it on 3-to-1. And hopefully pretty soon we'll be able to get more flasks, because 3 and 1 is not really enough. Let's see if he has anything else to say.
Weapons and protection are sturdy enough by and large, but when overused, they'll eventually break. When their durability is low, repair becomes a necessity. Use a powder, or simply rest at a bonfire. But should chance impel them break, bring them me. I'll hammer them back into shape. They take no pleasure in breaking, I assure ye. So handle them with care, if you would. Pretty be careful.
Will do. Right, we have 17 souls. We've got our short sword. We're ready to warp out of here and go to Lothric. But before we do that, I do actually want to take one... Where did Mr. Cheery go? There he is. Okay, before we go to Lothric, I did want to take one crack at the guy with this nasty sword at the top of the stairwell. He's skilled. We're probably going to die. I mean, if we die, it's not a big thing. But let's give it a shot. And I think there is an item up here we can grab. Oh, looks like something is chasing us. So we've pulled a couple of regular hollows. Whoa! So you can see there that you can get more swings out of the short sword, and then thrusts you can get out of the spear in equal time periods. Am I forgetting? Oh yeah, there is one area actually in the shrine that we should go to the upper level, but we can do that after we take a look at this guy. Now I think our strategy is we're going to try to get him off this cliff with any luck. This guy is skilled. Oh, see, bad. Oh, we're getting out of here. Oh. Okay, let's see if we can jump. That was bad. Oh, he's skilled. Yeah, I think... Well... We don't have any souls, so... Not... Oh, whoa! Oh, he's so fast. Yeah, he hopelessly outclasses us. So we are going to... Actually... Whenever he hits us, he causes us to bleed. And he's still got a huge chunk of health, so... I think we'll come back and deal with that guy a bit later. Let's head to Lothric and let's set about grabbing a longbow. But before we do that, let's rest. And let's travel. Actually, while I think of it, this might be a good place to take a little bit of a break. I'll have a drink, have a bit of a walk around. And then in our next episode, we'll go to Lothric and we'll begin the quest for some improved weapons. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you join me next time. Take care.